So the question of the day, do you feel like running away from reality sometimes? And maybe it's because it's getting a little sunnier outside and you're looking for an excuse to go outside. Or maybe it's just because today's still Wednesday and yes, unfortunately Friday isn't here yet. And maybe you're already planning for your summer holiday or willing to do anything to get rid of the idea of quitting your job. Well, apparently, one of the reasons that people leave their jobs is because a good number of people feel that they could do a better job than the managers or supervisors. Now, that's a lot of pressure to put on a manager's shoulder, and I'm pretty sure they think about the same thing about their bosses as well and wish for a getaway as well. So, here's the first song for the day. It's a pretty good getaway song. Mr. Bruno Mars with Runaway Baby. That was Bruno Mars with Runaway Baby, and now you guys are tuning into What's Poppin' with Brian Jew on TBS efm 101.3 in Seoul and its surrounding areas, GFN 98.7 in Gwangju, and 93.7 in Yeosu. Now, a few things I'd like to remind you guys. Our contact information. Number one, the easiest way, send us a text to sharper pound 1013 for a charge of 51. Hit us up on our Twitter at TBS What's Poppin', or number three would be Kakao Talk. If you add TBS EFM as a plus friend, you can send us messages, pictures, videos, all for free. Also, we're live today, so please give us a call. We want to hear from you guys live. The number is 02-778-1013. And if you want to hit us up on our email, that's efmpoppin@gmail.com. If you have any questions, want to send us a nice, sweet email, because sometimes these emails brighten up my day. And also, if you want to check out our playlist, go to our website. That's tbsefm.soul.kr/efm/what's poppin'. Alrighty, but for now, we got a word from our sponsors, which are Asiana Airlines and Korean Air. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for today's pick. Now, did you know that people in Korea, they spend an average around an hour commuting, traveling back and forth, of course. And people usually read books and play games or talk to their friends on their smartphones to kill some time. But on a warm, sunny day like today, many people feel drowsy and end up falling asleep while they commute. So, the occasion that we picked for today is dozing off. Yes. Now, there are many ways to fall asleep on the commute, of course, and especially on buses or subways. And I bet you guys witnessed a few funny postures, some goofy, things that people do on the subway or the bus. I know I haven't commuted that much in Korea, but in the States, when I took the subway or the metro in New York, I've seen a lot of goofy things go on because I tend to stay awake. Now, I have a few names for these little funny postures, of course. So we'll start with the first one, which is called the window lean. I know it sounds cool, but this is when you actually fall asleep on the glass. Now, not only the people on the subway see you or the bus, but people outdoors. If you go to a red light on the bus, people outside waiting for the bus can see you acting all goofy. Number two is the lean back. This kind of sounds cool too, but it ain't, because you're falling asleep with your head back and you got your mouth wide open. And it's one of the goofiest things that a person can do. Number three, the domino. And I'm not talking about my song. I'm talking about the passenger next to you uses you as your bed. They kind of lean on your shoulder. And you get annoyed. So what you do is you knock them up with your shoulder. And then you end up leaning on the other side. So it's like a domino going back and forth. If not, the last one, of course, all you ladies have done this before, the whip my hair, which is, for girls with longer hair, you kind of lean to one side and all of a sudden, boom, you bang your head to the other side. You end up whipping your hair, sometimes poking a person's eye next to you. Yes, y'all have done it. Anyways, let us know on Twitter what type of posture that you usually fall asleep in when you're traveling, when you're commuting. Now we're going to play a song that hopefully won't make you fall asleep. Or maybe it might even help you guys take a nap a little bit, because you guys know that taking a nap from time to time is actually healthy for you. And in fact, studies show that a nap can reduce the risk of heart disease and it prevents burnouts. So if you have lunch coming up, take a light lunch, eat a little, snack or something, and try to take a short nap for a little bit, maybe 15 to 20 minutes so you feel refreshed. With this next song, of course, Mr. Al Green with Let's Stay Together. Oh, Are you feeling that song? Because I was feeling it. You know, it's very chill, especially if you guys are taking your nap. It's a perfect song to take a nap, too. Now, that was Al Green with Let's Stay Together. Now, many famous artists covered this song, including Tina Turner, Boyz II Men, Brian Kennedy, Maroon 5, and the list just goes on. And it's definitely one of those timeless songs that you just can't get enough of. You can listen to it over and over again, and you never get sick of it. Now, furthermore, this song was in many romantic comedy films like How to Lose Your Guy in 10 Days, Down to You, Jersey Girl, and an episode of Ally McBeal. I don't watch that show, but this sweet, slow song makes your heart, melt. And also, if you're tensed up or stressed, it'll make you feel good and mellow inside. So you can finally get into a nice, deep rest mode, especially if you're going to take that afternoon nap. Don't go deep into an afternoon nap because I don't want you to get fired from your job. Anyways, now if you weren't too drowsy with the last song, we're going to play a different song to get you guys more a little pumped up. So if you already took your nap, or if you don't need a nap, you want to get pumped up, this is the perfect song. And the song is called Rich Hipster, and it's by Chrisette Michele. Now, hipster actually describes a state of mind, but it usually is intertwined with distinct fashion sensibilities, wearing vintage clothes and clothes from thrift store-inspired fashion, old school kicks, and sometimes thick-rimmed glasses. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Apparently, the greatest population of hipsters can be found in neighborhoods of major cosmopolitan areas such as New York, Chicago, and San Francisco. But yes, you can run into, hipsters in Korea as well, in places like Hongdae and Karasu Street. Now, the usual attitude of hipsters is the effortless coolness. Yes, unfortunately, I'm not under that category, so I don't call myself a hipster. Anyways, let's listen to the song to find out more about what being a hipster is all about. This is Chrisette Michele with Rich Hipster. Once again, that was Chrisette Michele with Rich Hipster. And my question to you guys about that song, what did you think? She definitely knows what effortless coolness is if you just listen to her voice, because it's really chilled out and very mellow. And since we're speaking of hipsters, on a recent Jimmy Kimmel show, they came up with some fake names of some indie bands. And they went around interviewing people on the street that seemed to, like some hipster music, and gave their opinions on these fake indie bands that they don't actually know, nor do they actually exist. And on the interview video, the interviewees pretended to know these fake bands and give some serious made-up answers, acting like they knew what they're talking about. Like, yeah, I did their music. Yeah, some people told me to YouTube this, YouTube that, and I really think they have a big chance of making it in the mainstream. Now, guys, seriously, don't make up nothing. No mumbo jumbo. If you don't know a group, just say you don't know them. Don't act like, oh yeah, just because the rest of the people in the world know who they are, I know who they are. It's just going to make yourself look more dumb. Anyways, since we asked you guys earlier on Twitter, what are some positions or postures you guys fall asleep on when you're commuting? We have some right now. Brian Drew Singapore wrote, that reminds me of a Ajuma dozed off and her head was on my shoulder. Happened last year when I was in Korea. Yeah, she did the domino. Like we said, that happens once in a while. Also, we got one from, let's see, Jill Williams said, TBS, what's poppin'? Finally, am able to catch part of your show again. Shout out from Marion, Indiana, USA. Wish I could listen every day. Well, thank you very much for tuning in from overseas. Also, Maliana wrote, LOL Brownie, I know the feeling of drool on the shoulder is the worst. Oh, that is bad. When you're traveling and you feel something kind of moist on your shoulder, you look over, you're like, am I sweating? And you realize the person has their mouth open and there's saliva all over your shoulder. That's just nasty. Anyways, we're going to get into the next song. And the next song is by an artist named Raul Madon, and it's a singer-songwriter and guitarist based in New York City and has a unique strumming style in his music. Y'all want to check it out. It's a great song, and it's going to be the last song for the first half of our show. This is Raul Madon with Keep On Hoping. Welcome back to the second half of What's Poppin'. This is your boy Brian Jew, and get ready, y'all. It's now time for Groovy Grooves with Jazzy Jew. You know what that means. I'm going to be playing some nice slow jams for y'all to get you in the mood. I know it's Wednesday, it's hump day right now, but I want you guys to feel good about your hump day. Get in the mood. So please send your requests for your favorite R&B tracks that you want to hear right now. It don't have to be a new song. It could be a throwback, something from way back when, or maybe something new. Just make sure you send in some good soul music. Music for the soul. Music that makes you feel good inside. Alrighty? But for now, we have a word from our sponsors, which are Hyundai Motor Company, Siemens Korea, SK2, Hettek Hangwon Pyeongchangsu, and GlaxoSmithKline. Groovy Grooves with Jazzy Jew. For some reason, I feel like that should be in the song, but I just wanted to do that live for y'all and let you know that we are live today. And now it's time for Groovy Grooves with Jazzy Jew, where we play smooth grooves of all that good R&B music for the soul. So make sure you guys are sending in your requests right now, very fast, via Twitter, email, text, whatever it is that you're able to do on your smartphones or whatever. But right now, we're going to give you an example of what good R&B music, soulful music is. The first artist on board is Musiq Soulchild. Listen to that name, man. Now, do you think he came up with his own name, calling himself Musiq Soulchild? Because if he did, sounds a little egotistic, but when people are calling him, it's that music dude. He was just starting out his career. And then he asked them to call him Music. And that's how he, got his name, because he loves music so much and he's so passionate about it. And then later he added the Soul Child after music because he believes he's representing legacies of the traditional soul artists from the past, of course. So we're going to play music from the Child of Soul himself. This is off his second album called Just Listen, and it's called Half Crazy. That was a Child of Soul himself, Mr. Musiq Soulchild with Half Crazy. I told you, he does have soul in his voice and he sounds so good. A great example of what true R&B music, some neo-soul music sounds like. But for now, we're going to put the R&B on hold because we got a caller who called in. Apparently she tried to call in a few times in the past, but, we also have technical difficulties. So we have her online right now. TBS efm's What's Poppin'? Who am I speaking to?
Hello, Brian. This is Linda.
Linda, very familiar voice. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
You're doing good?
Everything goes normal, yeah.
Okay. Are you at work right now or school?
I will go to work later.
Work later. Okay. Is it going to be a long day for you today?
No. Not too long. Yeah.
So you know that we're talking about, commuting, and I'm pretty sure since you're going to work, when you go to work, what do you commute on? Usually the bus or the subway?
You mean commute? What do you mean?
When you travel for work.
Yeah.
Do you usually take the subway, taxi, bus?
I usually take the subway.
Okay, the subway, okay. So earlier we were talking about, funny positions or postures that people do on subways and buses, and I want to know if you have ever done anything like that, or you've seen some funny ones, like when I was on the bus before, the person next to me actually ended up falling asleep with their head tilted back with their mouth open. And then later on, like I said, it was like, I felt like my shoulder was sweating. So I turned over and this person ended up leaning his head towards me, and there was spit and drool just coming out of their mouth all over my shoulder.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's pretty disgusting, yes. Anything like that happen to you? Some funny stuff?
Till now, I haven't met that situation. Yeah.
Have you done that situation before? Have you actually fell asleep on the subway?
No. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're one of those people who are very careful about not falling asleep so you don't look foolish on the subway or anything, right?
Yes.
Oh.
But I can find a lot of people who are tired and take a nap in the subway.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Oh, right. And there are a lot of people who drink a lot on the weekends.
Oh, yeah. So on Monday mornings, they're pretty much, sleeping and napping on the subway.
A feature in Korea.
Yeah.
I really don't like that smell.
Oh, I could imagine that. You're sitting on the subway and you smell like soju or alcohol on the subway. Because, subways, the trains are actually very condensed in space, and, the smell doesn't, it doesn't ventilate that well. Alrighty. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Well, since you're still on air with us, is there anything you want to say? A shout out, a message to a friend?
Yeah, I want to shout out to you. Hope you can get my energy.
Aww.
And, yes, I know you feel not too well. I think I hope you can not too hard at work. Yeah, everything will get better. Just do it step by step.
Well, thank you very much. That's very sweet of you to say to me today. Because actually, I only had like maybe 2 hours of sleep. Because I was working. Got home from work maybe like 1 o'clock in the morning last night. So, thank you so much. You actually uplifted my day. My Wednesday today has a great start to it, although the weather is kind of gloomy outside. It's warm, but gloomy outside.
Yes.
And
it's warm.
before we let you go, there's a song request that you wanted to listen to.
Yes, I request Pretty Boy by M2M.
Alrighty. We'll play that song for you right now, but thank you so much for calling and have a wonderful day at work.
Yes, thank you. You too.
Alrighty, thank you.
I love you.
Love you too.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye. Alright, y'all, that was Linda 10 calling in. Oh, that rhymed. Look at that. I'm just flowing today. And she requested M2M's Pretty Boy. And I want to dedicate that to all the people out there. Try to uplift you guys right now, because Wednesdays could be one of those days where you're just lazy. You don't want to do nothing. You feel groggy. And that's how I felt this morning. I was like, really? I got to drive to work, go on the radio, and sound lively. But I'm here. I'm doing my thing. So this is for all you guys. Requested by Linda 10, M2M's Pretty Boy. That was Groove Theory with Tell Me. And that was requested by Maliana. And that's what we're about to do today. We're going to play as many requests as much as possible in the time that we do have. And you guys know that today is a Groovy Grooves with Jazzy Jew. And that's a perfect song. You know, Tell Me by Groove Theory. I said Groovy Theory. Because, you know, the word grooves in it. Groovy grooves. And that's what we're here to do. We're trying to get a groove on. We're going to get an R&B on. We're going to get a soul on. And so you guys have to send in your requests, of course, to do that. But right now we're blowing up on Twitter as well. Let's see. Maliana just wrote, woo! My song. TBS was popping. Brown Jew music. Thank you. That's what we do. We're here to satisfy everybody as much as we can. We can't satisfy everyone. But if you guys send in requests, we actually choose. Unfortunately, we do have to pick and choose, of course, the right ones for our program. We can't play every single song. Also, Serena said, happy Wednesday, B. Did you have a good rest and feeling better? ? Take care. Miss you. I miss you so much as well. And yes, I am feeling better. Yesterday, I was a little under the weather while I was at work. But I'm feeling better today, so thank you for asking. Alrighty, with that said, it's like I said, because we're going to play some requests for you guys. We got Ebony's request up next by a legend, of course, wonderful vocals, Mr. Luther Vandross with Never Too Much. That was Never Too Much by Luther Vandross. But now it's time to wrap up our program for today. But we'd like to remind you guys, everyone, that we have our open studio on the 26th of this month, which is next Wednesday, of course. So if you guys want to be a part of that, please send us an email to efmpoppin@gmail.com and send in some funny episodes and stories that you guys have in mind. It could be any topic. And we emphasize that you guys send it in ASAP as soon as possible so we can get, some ideas for our open studio next week. And once again, the email address is efmpoppin@gmail.com. And earlier we're talking about dozing off. And if you guys are getting in trouble for dozing off, you know what? We're going to play another song for you guys to try to keep you guys awake on this lovely Wednesday morning. For you guys, it might be lovely. For me, it's kind of gloomy, but it's going to pick me up on this next song, hopefully. And the song is by Matt Palmer, and the song is called Goodbye, Don't Let It Be. But don't worry, because guess what? I'll be back tomorrow, 9:05 sharp. Once again, this is Brian Jew, signing off. Peace.